watching CBS 13 News.
Tonight, captured.
It has come to a conclusion. We have arrested John Williams.
And I talked to a couple of other guys who were down there, and they were like, well, they found the shooter. And I was like, no way.
Accused killer John Williams behind bars after 4 days on the run.
Hundreds of officers combing Somerset County inch by inch, looking for Williams, accused of killing Sheriff's Corporal Eugene Cole on Wednesday.
I don't think there's anything that can probably justify doing something like that.
Now the search is over. Williams captured alive using Corporal Cole's own handcuffs.
It's chilling, it's touching, it's unbelievable.
And the family of the man who put his life on the line gets a moment of relief.
With him out there, it was just, there was no closure. I may even sleep tonight.
But questions remain. What happened between Cole and Williams leading up to the deadly encounter?
I think that the job of law enforcement is not over.
Breaking news, the 4-day manhunt for John Williams is over. Williams is accused of killing Sheriff's Corporal Eugene Cole, and today he was finally captured by law enforcement in Fairfield.
The Somerset County community now breathing a sigh of relief. We do have live team coverage tonight of the arrest and the community reaction to the end of this Maine manhunt.
We want to get right out to CBS 13's Dan Lamparello, who's live in Fairfield where Williams was caught.
And Dan, you talked with some people who actually witnessed the capture.
Yeah, John and Marissa, it took 4 days, but the nationwide manhunt for John Williams ended right here at this home behind me off Route 139 in Fairfield. Law enforcement just leaving here moments ago. They spent the entire afternoon searching for evidence and clues out in the back there of what John Williams was doing over the past few days. Now, Williams was found in the woods behind this home, and residents who live here as neighbors and knew John Williams say they're breathing a sigh of relief tonight that this armed and dangerous suspect is no longer a threat. The signs around town say it all.
I got young kids inside. I was pretty worried. I'm really glad it's over.
John Williams taken into custody this afternoon in the woods where police had been searching.
Sure enough, he was there.
Orrin Moody took these photos of the arrest across from his home.
Just glad he got caught. You know, he looked pretty rough, like he'd been hiding out for a few days, you know.
Moody says he knew something big was happening when dozens of officers converged on the home across the street. It's an area he says has a lot of places to hide.
I know there's some old hunting camps out back there in the woods, and from what I'm hearing, that's where he was hiding out, was one of them camps.
In this photo of the arrest, Williams is down to the bare bones.
Ever expect this?
No, man. I'll tell you, when I first met him, he was a good guy, good kid. Was a smart kid.
Derek Devaney went to high school with Williams and witnessed his arrest.
Sounds like times were tough for him, and that can drive people to do crazy things, but I don't think there's anything that can probably justify doing something like that.
A nationwide manhunt ending in this rural backyard.
You got this whole huge state of Maine, and just to have it right there, it's pretty scary.
These neighbors and this community breathing a sigh of relief, happy Williams was taken alive.
I think him being able to stand and answer those questions is going to be a good thing for a lot of people, and hopefully it helps them in their recovery.
Now, before law enforcement left this area, all the people driving by have either been honking, waving, thanking them for the hours of dedicated service that they've put in over the past few days for looking for John Williams. All of them saying they're happy this ended peacefully. In Fairfield tonight, Dan Lamparello for CBS 13 News. John and Marissa.
Certainly a huge police response there. Dan, thank you for that live update for us.
Take a look here. This map shows the area where Williams was taken into custody. It's just a few miles from where he abandoned Corporal Cole's patrol car and very close to Bear Mountain Road. That's one of the spots where law enforcement was searching earlier this week. Williams was found about a half a mile off of the road in the woods.
Now, to get a better handle on how all of this happened, Taylor Cairns joins us live from the command center there in Norridgewock. And Taylor, try to walk us through how Williams was finally captured.
Well, John and Marissa, more than 200 law enforcement officers were in the hunt to find and capture Williams, and they say they're glad that it's finally over and that it happened peacefully.
Today is a very good day.
Somerset County Sheriff Dale Lancaster says the police found Williams after following tracks to a camp near Lost Brook, about half a mile off the road of Route 139. State police say the search took multiple days because they were slowly combing through 25 square miles of mountainous terrain.
They searched very difficult terrain and all the while had to be on guard for the continuing threat presented by Mr. Williams.
This photo shows Williams moments after his arrest, wearing Corporal Eugene Cole's handcuffs. Police say Williams had little resistance, but say the photo was necessary.
The suspect would not facilitate in displaying his face for that photograph to be taken, so we had to facilitate that.
Police say they won't comment on if Williams was armed or how the arrest played out. They say he will now head to Wyndham Correctional Facility.
Tonight, the citizens of Somerset County can sleep well, know that a dangerous man has been taken off the streets. Thank you very much for your support.
Now, in total, 28 different law enforcement agencies were involved in this manhunt, and the sheriff says that each and every one of them played a role in this arrest. Reporting live in Norwich Walk, Taylor Cairns, CBS 13 News. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Truly a team effort out there this week, Taylor. Thanks so much.
And with grief, finally comes some relief. The family of Corporal Eugene Cole is now reacting to the news of his alleged killer's capture.
CBS 13's Dan McCarthy is live in Skowhegan after just speaking with Corporal Cole's brother. Dan.
Marissa and John, the Cole family and some members of law enforcement are gathering tonight for a private visitation of Eugene Cole, the man who passed away just a few days ago. However, Tom Cole, his brother, tells me there is finally some relief amidst what has been one of the most difficult weeks of his life. He tells me that the Cole family was the first to be told about John Williams' capture earlier today. Tom says within minutes of hearing the news, car horns were honking as they drove past his Skowhegan home. He says his favorite moment of the day was watching our coverage and seeing Eugene's son, David, embrace other members of law enforcement following the news. With John Williams brought into custody alive, Cole says it's as good of an outcome as he could imagine during a week filled with the unimaginable.
Doesn't change things. The outcome is still the same. It's just, but there is a certain amount of closure that comes with no injustice will be served.
Cole also said that with Eugene's wife and children hearing the news, they're also relieved by it, and they'll all be gathering tonight to share memories of his life and some of their best moments with the father and husband to this loyal community. We'll have more from this area coming up tonight in just a couple of minutes. For now, we're live in Skowhegan. Dan McCarthy, CBS 13 News.
All right, Dan, we'll see you soon. Thanks.
Also still to come, a community and law enforcement all breathing a sigh of relief.
How officers are reacting to the capture of John Williams after that 4-day manhunt.
Now that the main manhunt is over, CBS 13 is working to get perspective on this massive search from law enforcement agencies across the state and what's next.
CBS 13's Brad Rogers is at the Waterville Police Department where the suspect was taken in earlier for questioning. And Brad, what are investigators hoping to learn at this point?
Well, Marissa, motive for one thing, that and the events that led up to the fatal shooting. What we're learning here at this point is that investigators have taken him here to the Waterville Police Station for questioning. But throughout this entire search, we've heard from the Somerset County Sheriff and also State Police about how they wanted to talk to Williams because he can answer questions no one else can. Now, he was taken here for questioning, but we don't know at this point whether he was cooperative and answered any of those questions. Now, investigators tell us that this is long from over, the investigation just now beginning, and there's likely a lot that investigators won't be able to reveal. We talked with the Commissioner of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife about how game wardens help with the search, and the head of the Sheriff's Association for their thoughts on the search and capture.
We're highly trained in the search arena. It's a very highly coordinated effort. I was over there yesterday and just absolutely overwhelmed, really, at the ability of so many law enforcement agencies from such disparate locations to come together in a coordinated effort and it resulted in the successful capture of Mr. Williams.
This, in my opinion, it brings credit to the state of Maine and the fact that they were able to get the job done. They did not give up on finding this killer, and now we just, it's up to us to make sure that Corporal Cole gets the proper burial services.
All law enforcement officers are offering their thoughts and prayers to Corporal Cole's family, and officers say the grieving process for them will be different now that the suspect is caught. We're live in Waterville. Brad Rogers, CBS 13 News. Back to you.
And the family of Corporal Cole is now releasing some details about services, all to remember and honor their fallen loved one.
Public visiting hours are scheduled for Sunday, May 6th at the Skowhegan Armory, and funeral services will be held at noon on Monday, May 7th at Cross Insurance Center in Bangor. A memorial fund is also set up for Corporal Cole's family. If you would like to donate, that information is on the screen here. Memorial donations can be sent to Bangor Savings Bank in Skowhegan.
And the community that Eugene Cole protected is celebrating the capture of his alleged killer as an area on edge now really inching towards normalcy.
CBS 13's Dan McCarthy is live in Skowhegan, a very familiar spot for the Cole family. Dan.
That's right, John and Marissa. In fact, yesterday we reported that Eugene Cole and his brother would often play here at T&B's Tavern, and they would perform as part of a band, something that they had been doing for years. And tonight the owner of this area says that he is heartbroken, but also relieved by the news of John Williams' capture. This was the stage right here we want to show you where Gene would sing and play guitar, he and his brother Tom being known as the Cole brothers. They'd always be inside the tavern and would always be drawing a crowd as well. Terry Washburn's the owner of the Celebration Center. He says the last week's been too much for the community to handle at times. Both John Williams in custody and Gene's handcuffs, no less. He's hopeful that the Cole family, as well as local law enforcement, can finally get some rest.
You know, it's a relief for the whole area. Now we can get back and be normal again. Hopefully, it's going to take some time, but you know, and the Cole family can, you know, they can get through this now.
And Washburn says that he plans on meeting with the Cole family later on tonight so they can discuss getting a benefit together here at the very stage where Gene would bring in a lot of people to celebrate and have a good time. We're live in Skowhegan tonight. Dan McCarthy, CBS 13 News.
And coming up here at 6, thanking those who protected Somerset County and arrested the suspect.
The outpouring of support for law enforcement and what one sheriff did when he saw thank you signs from 2 little girls.
And as we continue our coverage tonight of the capture of John Williams, the suspect accused of killing Corporal Eugene Cole, we do want to show you some of the outpouring of support for the officials who made the arrest.
Thank you, law enforcement officers, is the message on this sign in Norridge Walk at W. Bar Hatfield Athletic Park. Some people also made their own to express their gratitude as officers drove by after the capture.
Darlene Dosty says her family was trapped for 3 days inside their home during the manhunt. She says thanking the men and women in blue was the least she could do.
And it devastated us. You know, for the first time ever, we were no longer safe in our home. That's always been safe. So when the girls got up and we found out he'd been arrested, we thought, what can we do to thank these guys for giving us our lives back, for letting us be safe in our home again.
Dosty says officers honked as they drove past, and the sheriff even stopped to shake the hands of her granddaughters and give her a hug.